Hello, good afternoon. My name is Debbie Jacobs, and I want to share, what I did to cure myself of mental illness. I lived most of my adult life with depression, anxiety, and bipolar. Um, and basically, I was in therapy for over 10 years on medication, going to a psychiatrist, the whole life, Um, and I never found that therapy really helped me, that I gained results from it. I started with anger, low self esteem, and unhealed pain. And over 10 years later, I left with anger, low self esteem, and unhealed pain. And I was in a lot worse shape. I ran into some difficult times and I didn't have the support, the guidance, the coping skills to deal with it. So I had a chance meeting with a life coach. And you know what? Just from our meetings, I felt understood. I didn't feel angry. I felt optimistic, and I felt that things could be okay. So I said, you know what? Can I work with you? And she said, sure. And we started working together. And what we were working on was self improvement. Self improvement is life improvement. And, through her, she turned me on to Louise Hay. Louise Hay wrote the book, You Can Heal Your Life. And that really opened up a door to shine some light on what I wanted to accomplish. And you know what I wanted to accomplish? Positive thinking. Yes, I wanted to accomplish positive thinking. Louise Hay, taught about thoughts and thinking and positive affirmations, and seeds of change were planted. Uh, and I ended up focusing on my thinking. It actually was my thinking that really, made the difficult time a lot worse for me. I was like obsessed with my thoughts of anger. I had so much anger that it was, interfering with my happiness, interfering with my life. And then, Louise Hay said, change your thoughts, change your life. And I said, you know what? I'm going to test that. I'm going to see, can we change our thoughts to change our life? And I set out to change the thoughts in my head. Like, no joke. I was like if I could like pull them out of my head and throw them on the floor, I would have done that. And it essentially was a process because I had to get rid of my negative thinking. I had to get rid of my negative thinking and then learn new effective positive thinking. And I did. And, when we focus on our thinking triggers our coping skills. So if I am, having angry thoughts, I'm going to react in anger, and you're going to see in my actions my anger. So if I am, thinking thoughts of insecurity, you're going to see that reflected in my behavior. I'm going to act on those thoughts and create it in my experience. So, really, in order for me to change my negative thoughts, I had to create new, positive, effective coping skills because our negative, ineffective coping skills are generated by negative thoughts and create negative thoughts. So, insecurity, worry, guilt, shame, anger, resentment, annoyance, shyness, sensitivity, um, stubbornness, frustration, annoyance, being bothered, being upset. Anything negative is created by negative thoughts. And that's what we act on to, and it shows up in our behaviors. If I'm getting annoyed at someone, it's not because of them, it's because of my thinking. It could annoy me that this person is wearing, orange shoes, but to somebody else, they'll have no problem with it. And they don't get annoyed and they don't react and respond to orange shoes. Who cares, right? That's the new thinking. Who cares? Which I do use a lot. So basically, I went through all of my negative thoughts. And let me tell you something, putting myself down, is that negative thinking? It is, yes, of course. All of it has to go. And then you start to learn that all of this negative thinking is in the way of your confidence, is in the way of your self-love, is in the way of feeling good enough, is in the way of feeling worthy. Like, so the less that you have these negative thoughts, the more your beautiful authentic self grows, comes to life, because she's buried under your negativity, under your hurt, and my beautiful authentic self was buried under depression, anxiety, and bipolar. And it's through the process of changing my thoughts and changing my coping skills that I reconnected with the person I was meant to be. I wasn't meant to be angry. I wasn't meant to be hurt. I wasn't meant to be shy. I wasn't meant to be insecure. I wasn't, meant to not have effective coping skills. I wasn't meant to not express myself effectively. I had a lot of communication problems in my inauthentic self, in my ego self, my hurt self. I didn't develop communication skills that I needed for life, because in my household I was told to shut up, and I had 4 siblings that were older than me, and it was hard for me to speak. So I didn't fight to be heard. I just stopped speaking. Kids don't know. Kids have no idea. It's for the parents to know. But basically, what the objective of the healing was every time I created a negative outcome, I sought to figure out a way where I can create a positive outcome. So if somebody's like, hey, Debbie, I think you're a jerk, and then I'm like, you think I'm a jerk? Screw you, and let's get in a fight, and don't make me feel bad about myself, and now I'm going to beat myself up. Oh, they think I'm a jerk. That's not creating a positive outcome at all. That's creating upset and unhappiness for me. It's creating, I'm allowing it to create invalidation and disrespect for me. I don't want that. So let me see if I can change my thoughts and change the outcome. So someone says to me, hey, Debbie, I think you're a jerk. I say, okay, well, what's up? Why do you think I'm a jerk? How can I help you? What's the problem? How can we solve it? Changing my thoughts, from having a problem to having no problem. Because I already, in the healing process and being a positive thinker, I developed my healthy self-esteem. So I'm not invalidated if somebody calls me a jerk. I know, because I learned that that's a reflection of them. Because I learned not to take things personal. It's a reflection of them. They have a problem. What's the problem? And they don't have effective communication skills, right? Because you don't go to people and say, hey, you're a jerk. You say what the problem is and how can we resolve it. If I have a problem with you, I'm not going to insult you. What is that doing? That just creates anger. That makes the problem worse before addressing it. I want to make the problem better. See, being a positive thinker, problem solving. And basically, in all of my behaviors, I said, where am I creating a negative outcome? And you know what? Let me tell you something. Sometimes, what I noticed that I did was, I don't know why, I guess it's an unworthiness thing. If someone was like, hey, Deb, do you wanna do this with me? I'd be like, no, that's okay. No, thanks. Even if it was something that I wanted, I would say no. And that's part of the healing process, has to be addressed, not creating, a happiness, not creating a positive outcome. So if somebody offered me something, I forced myself to say yes. Sure, I'll go with you. Where do you want to go? And then I would follow through, and enjoy it and try and be positive, be out of my comfort zone. The whole healing process is out of our comfort zone. And then, if someone would be like, hey, Deb, I have this really, annoying errand, can you do it for me? And I would, there were times my people pleasing, my not, not putting myself first. I'd be like, sure, I'll go out of my way for you. But now I'm like, you know what? It's not serving my highest good. And I feel more comfortable saying no without feeling like I'm insulting someone or I'm rejecting someone or I'm disappointing someone. So I said, you know what? I don't really want to do that. That's okay. Thanks. Having effective coping skills. And having effective coping skills also means communication, assertion, interpersonal. And let me tell you something. Do I have, perfection is of the ego. It's our hurt self. I'm not perfect. I just found things that work for me. I want to create a positive outcome, not a negative one. And sometimes, let me tell you something. I could want to create a positive outcome, but the person that I'm dealing with doesn't. They want to create a negative outcome. So you know what ends up happening? A negative outcome gets created, not a positive one. I guess it goes with like negativity is the lowest vibration. I don't know. Negativity has a negative effect on positivity, not positivity having a positive effect on negativity. And that's too bad. Maybe with more positive people, we can have a better effect. But basically, it all stems from focusing on what's going through my head, gaining mastery, getting rid of all the thoughts that don't serve me, and not just thoughts that don't serve me, but thoughts that are not productive. When am I going to think about what another person is thinking about me for? I have no idea what they're thinking about me, and it doesn't serve me to think about that. Don't think about what other people are thinking about you. Don't worry. In mental illness, there's so much like stigma. We want to, get rid of the stigma. Why don't you focus on your own healing, your own happiness, your own life? You're being distracted by focusing on stigma, by focusing on awareness, by focusing on what other people think. That your focus is what other people think, which you can't control, right? And you're not focusing on your own well being and happiness. Mental illness is not about, being cured of mental illness, it's about reducing the stigma. Well, why don't we focus on people with mental illness happiness? Who cares about the stigma? Who cares about awareness? We don't need to prove anything to other people. We need to focus on ourselves and our own happiness. It's a possibility. So basically, and especially with, my process, I created it myself. It took me 5 years to accomplish. I created an app that reprograms the subconscious mind, a Louise Hay idea. And, I want to put out to people that happiness is an option for us all and we can live our best life. Depression, anxiety, and bipolar was not my best version of self. This, my healed self, my authentic self, my positive self is the best that I'm gonna do. And let me tell you something. Maybe who knows? I'm open, but at least I'm out of my pain. You know. Is my best version of self. I did gain some weight. But listen, I'm not gonna let anything create unhappiness for me. I'm not very happy about it. And the only reason why I say that because it's not like our best has to be perfection. We just have to be out of our pain. Get out of your pain, live your life that way. And if I want to lose weight, or if I want to buy new clothes, or cut my hair, or improve upon myself, I can do that, or I don't have to. But I'm out of my pain, and you're out of your pain when you have positive thoughts and healthy self-esteem. The person you were meant to be before pain veered your development off course. And you ended up with negative thoughts, low self-esteem, negative ineffective coping skill, and unhealed pain. And you know what? That could be depression, anxiety, or bipolar, or that can be just how just you, you know, your flawed self. So, all right, my name is Debbie Jacobs. I just wanted to do this video. Feel free to find me on Facebook. My name again is Debbie Jacobs. I'm on Facebook. I post all the time about overcoming depression, anxiety, and bipolar, how to avoid it in kids, how to change your thoughts. But really, what I would strongly encourage is to contact me directly. I have the app, I have all the knowledge, I did all the work, and getting to your happiness is the objective. The fastest, as soon as possible, right? Don't you want to get to your healed self as soon as possible and get out of your pain? Trust me, and you need to accomplish it through coaching. I used coaching too. Um, and there's not going to be anybody better than me, quite honestly, if I do say so myself. I created the process, I had the successful results, and I created the app. I needed the app to accomplish positive thinking, so I think that everybody is going to. And if they're not, the app is still the fastest way to accomplish positive thinking. And basically, the app it allows you to record in your own voice positive affirmations to listen to while you sleep to reprogram the subconscious mind. With and